Now let's start with today's story. I took another bite of my sandwich, but it tasted like nothing. My stomach felt like it had turned inside out. Rebecca, on the other hand, looked excited, like she had just discovered some amazing new opportunity that she couldn't wait to dive into. "So, how do you think we should do it?" she asked, her voice light, like we were just planning a vacation or deciding what to order for takeout. I swallowed hard. Do what? Set things up. You know, like, do we both make dating profiles? Do we talk to each other about the people we're seeing beforehand? Or just let it happen naturally? What kind of boundaries do you think we should have? I stared at her, trying to process the fact that she had already thought this through. My hands felt numb, and I had to put down my fork before I dropped it. "Rebecca, how long have you been thinking about this?" I asked, trying to keep my voice even. She hesitated for just a second, just long enough for me to notice, before shaking her head. "I don't know, a few weeks? I've been reading about it online, and it just makes sense. So many couples are happier after trying it. I just think it could be good for us, you know?" No, I didn't know. I should have told her right then and there that I wasn't okay with it. That the idea of her being with someone else made my chest feel like it was caving in. That I had been looking at engagement rings, for God's sake. But then she reached across the table, her fingers wrapping around mine. "I love you, Jerry. This isn't because anything is wrong. I just don't want us to wake up one day and realize we missed out on something." I wanted to tell her she wasn't missing out on anything, that what we had was enough. Instead, I forced a nod. "Yeah, sure. If you think it'll be good for us, we can try it." Her whole face lit up. "Really? You mean it?" Not even a second of hesitation. No double-checking if I was sure. Just pure, unfiltered excitement. I nodded again, though it felt like someone else was moving my head for me. "Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. We should probably start slow. Maybe set up profiles together? That way, we can make sure we're both comfortable." She was already reaching for her phone, her thumbs flying over the screen. "And we'll need to figure out when it's okay to go on dates. Like, should we tell each other beforehand or just after? Oh, and no sleeping over at someone else's place, obviously." She kept talking, setting rules, making plans. Meanwhile, I just sat there, staring at her. And all I could think was, I just made a huge mistake. That night, lying in bed, I couldn't sleep. Rebecca was out cold next to me, peaceful as could be, while I stared at the ceiling wondering what the hell I'd gotten myself into. Part of me wanted to wake her up and tell her no, that I didn't want to share her with anyone else. But another part of me was scared. Scared that if I said no, she'd do it anyway or leave me for someone else. So I lay there, running through every conversation we'd had recently, trying to figure out if there were signs I missed. Was she bored? Was I not enough? Was there already someone else? The questions kept coming, and I had answers for none of them. Little did I know, this was just the beginning of how messed up things were about to get. The very next day, Rebecca spent the whole evening setting up her Tinder and Bumble profiles. Asking me to help pick photos like this was some totally normal thing for a boyfriend to do. "Do you think this one is too casual? Or should I go with the one from Sarah's wedding?" she asked, flipping between pictures on her phone. I forced a shrug. "I don't know. They both look fine." "Fine." She wrinkled her nose. "Come on, Jerry. I need you to be more helpful than that. This is kind of a big deal." "Yeah, no kidding." She even asked me to take new pictures of her. "Yeah, seriously." I played along, taking photos of my girlfriend so she could look good for other guys. I tried setting up my own profile too, just to show I was making an effort, but my heart wasn't in it. Every time I tried writing a bio, it felt weird and fake. What was I supposed to write? In a relationship but looking for fun? The whole thing made me feel gross. I think she knew I wouldn't meet with anyone because I'm not social, and I don't have time or energy to meet new people. I had told her that a couple of times. Maybe that's why she felt comfortable diving in headfirst, because she knew I'd just stay in the background. A safety net. A backup plan. Rebecca got matches right away, obviously. She's gorgeous and fun. But what really got to me was how fast she started meeting these guys. Within a week, she had 3 dates lined up. 3. "Look at this one," she said, shoving her phone in my face. "He's a personal trainer at that fancy gym downtown. We're getting coffee tomorrow." I nodded, trying to act like this was totally cool and normal. The first time she got ready for a date, I felt sick to my stomach. She wore this black dress I'd never seen before. Yeah, she bought new clothes for this and spent like an hour doing her makeup. When she walked out of our bedroom, she did this little twirl. "How do I look?" she asked, all excited. "Great," I managed to say, while thinking about how that dress probably cost more than what she usually spends on our date nights. She came home late that night, all giggly and happy. I pretended to be asleep when she got into bed, but I heard her texting someone for like an hour. The next morning, she was humming while making coffee, acting like everything was perfect. I started paying attention to her schedule. Monday, coffee with the gym guy. Wednesday, dinner with some lawyer dude. Friday, drinks with a guy who owned a food truck. Yeah, the range was interesting. Each time, she'd come home looking like she'd had the time of her life. I started checking the locations she was tagging on Instagram. Not my proudest moment, but I needed to know what was really going on. One night, I actually drove by the restaurant where she said she was having dinner. Saw her sitting at the bar with some tall guy in a suit, laughing at whatever he was saying. She had her hand on his arm, looking at him the way she used to look at me. The worst part wasn't even seeing her with these guys. It was how she changed at home. She started spending way less time with me. No more cuddles. She was always texting someone. Our Sunday pancake tradition? Forgotten, because she was meeting the girls for brunch. I tried talking to her about it once. Don't you think you're going on a lot of dates? I asked, trying to sound casual. She looked at me like I was being ridiculous. That's the whole point of an open relationship, isn't it? To meet new people and have experiences? You should try it too. I can help you with your profile if you want. But I didn't want help with my profile. I wanted my girlfriend back. I wanted the person who used to get excited about ordering pizza and watching bad movies with me. Not this new version, who was always dressed up and heading out the door. By this point, it had been 3 weeks since Rebecca started this whole open relationship thing. 3 weeks of watching her get dressed up for other guys. 3 weeks of lying awake wondering where she was, what she was doing, who she was with. 3 weeks of feeling like I was losing my mind. I honestly thought she'd snap out of it, realize how ridiculous she sounded. I kept waiting for her to wake up and see how stupid this whole thing was, to understand what she was throwing away. But she didn't. No hesitation, no guilt. She was actually proud of it. She walked around like she had unlocked some higher level of dating, like she'd figured out something the rest of us were too dumb to understand. And the worst part? I couldn't wrap my head around why. She seemed happy with me. So why burn it all down? Why act like what we had wasn't enough? That's when it finally clicked. There was no fixing this, no coming back. It was over in a way that couldn't be undone. And for the first time, I wasn't even sure I cared anymore. The thought of her out there living it up without a care while I was stuck here drowning in it. It lit something in me. I wanted to make her regret everything, make her see exactly what she threw away. But that didn't mean I had a plan yet. I just knew I wasn't going to sit around suffering while she got to have all the fun. I hadn't figured out my next move yet. I just knew I needed to talk to someone. Someone who would actually understand how messed up this all was. And that's when Angela started coming around more often. Angela had been Rebecca's best friend since their freshman year of college. She was always around. Movie nights, helping us move furniture, bringing soup when one of us was sick. Just one of those genuinely good people. She was a kindergarten teacher, which fit her perfectly because she had this way of making everyone feel heard and important. I never thought of her as anything more than Rebecca's friend. Sure, she was pretty. Long brown hair, green eyes, always smiling. But she was firmly in the friend zone in my mind. Plus, she dated this guy Mark for 2 years, though they broke up a few months ago. The first time she came over after Rebecca started this open relationship thing, it was to borrow some mixing bowls for a birthday cake she was making. Rebecca was out, surprise, with some new guy. Angela could tell something was off right away. "You look terrible," she said, straightforward as ever. "What's going on?" I didn't mean to tell her everything, but it just came out. How Rebecca sprung the open relationship idea on me. How she'd been dating different guys almost every night. How I felt like I was going crazy watching it all happen. Angela sat there, actually listening, not just waiting for her turn to talk. When I finished, she shook her head. "That's not an open relationship," she said flatly. "That's just Rebecca doing whatever she wants without caring how it affects you." Something about hearing someone else say it made me feel less insane. Angela started coming by more often after that, usually when Rebecca was out on her dates. We'd watch movies, order takeout, just hang out. It was nice having someone to talk to, someone who knew both of us and could actually understand the situation. One night, about a month into Rebecca's exploring, Angela came over looking kind of nervous. She was fidgeting with her necklace, something I'd noticed she did when she was anxious. "I need to tell you something," she said, sitting on the other end of the couch. "And it might make things weird, but I can't keep pretending." My stomach did this weird flip thing. I think part of me already knew what was coming. "I've had feelings for you for a long time," she said, looking down at her hands. "Since before you and Rebecca even got together. But you were with her, and she's my best friend, so I never said anything." I started dating Mark hoping it would help me get over it, but, she shrugged. It didn't work. I sat there, trying to wrap my head around it. Angela, kind, hilarious, drop-dead gorgeous Angela, had feelings for me. How did I not see that? She was the one who helped me pick out gifts for Rebecca. The same Rebecca who was still figuring out if she even wanted something serious with me. Angela, who made me homemade chicken soup when I was sick, while Rebecca barely texted to check in. Had I been blind this whole time? You don't have to say anything, she added quickly. I just needed you to know. Watching Rebecca treat you like this, seeing how much it's hurting you, it's been killing me. You deserve better than this. I looked at her, really looked at her. That simple green sweater somehow made her eyes glow. Her hair was up in one of those effortless messy buns. The kind that shouldn't be attractive but somehow made her look even better. And right then, I wondered how the hell I never noticed before. At the same time, Rebecca's actions were still burning in the back of my mind. She really thought I'd sit around waiting like some loyal idiot while she paraded around with not just one guy but multiple, like I was some safety net, just there whenever she got bored. That was her biggest mistake. She was out there doing whatever she wanted, thinking I'd still be available when she decided to come back. Nah. For me, that chapter was closed. I wasn't playing by her terms anymore. I was playing by mine. I decided to shoot my shot. I took a breath, feeling that shift, that moment where I finally took control. Angela, I started, my voice steadier than I expected. She moved closer on the couch, her eyes searching mine. I know this is complicated. I know I'm probably making everything worse by telling you this, but seeing you so unhappy these past few weeks, I just couldn't stay quiet anymore. Then she kissed me, just leaned in and kissed me. I should have stopped it. I should have thought about Rebecca, about our friendship, about how complicated this would make everything. Instead, I kissed her back. And it wasn't just a kiss. We spent the night together, and it was different. Angela noticed me, really noticed me. She paid attention when something in my expression changed, asked what I was thinking, actually cared about the answer. Lying there in the dark afterward, I let it all sink in. How far this had gone. How everything had shifted. I had just slept with my girlfriend's best friend. Something that should have felt like crossing a line, but all I could think about was how right it felt. Angela turned to me, propping herself up on her elbow. Her eyes searched mine. What are we going to do? I exhaled, staring up at the ceiling. I should have had an answer, should have felt guilt, conflict, something. But all I felt was relief. Like I could finally breathe after weeks of suffocating in Rebecca's mess. I don't know, I admitted. Angela hesitated. Then she said, I don't regret it. Do you? The crazy thing? I didn't. Not even for a second. Because for the first time since this whole open relationship disaster began, I saw things clearly. I wasn't the one who ruined us. I wasn't the one who broke trust. And maybe, just maybe, I deserve someone who wanted me. Just me. Rebecca's going to lose it when she finds out, I said. Probably. Angela smiled slightly. But isn't it funny how she thinks it's perfectly fine for her to date other people? But the idea of you doing the same would drive her crazy? She had a point. That's when I decided. Maybe it was time for Rebecca to get a taste of her own medicine. I didn't tell Rebecca about Angela right away. Part of me wanted to see how she'd react to little hints first. Yeah, maybe that was petty, but after watching her parade around with different guys for weeks, I figured she deserved to feel what that was like. The morning after Angela left, Rebecca came home from staying at Jessica's place. Pretty sure Jessica was actually some guy named Jason, but whatever. She was all chatty, making coffee, telling me about her girls' night. That's when I dropped the first hint. Oh, Angela stopped by last night, I said, super casual. We had a really good talk. Rebecca's hand froze on the coffee pot. Angela was here? Yeah, we hung out for a while. She's really easy to talk to, you know. Rebecca put her coffee mug down, too hard, splashing some onto the counter. What did you guys talk about? Just stuff, I said with a shrug. Life, relationships, feelings. It was nice. The look on her face was priceless. She spent the next hour texting someone, probably trying to get details from Angela, while pretending to watch TV with me. But I could see her glancing at me every few minutes, trying to figure out what had happened. Over the next few days, I started mentioning Angela more and more. Angela's hilarious, I'd say. She really understands me. Each time, Rebecca would get this tight look on her face, like she was trying not to react but couldn't help it. One morning, I was smiling at my phone while texting Angela when Rebecca practically jumped across the couch to see what I was looking at. Who are you texting? She asked, trying to sound casual and failing completely. Just Angela, I said. She's really into this new show I recommended. Rebecca's face did this weird thing where she tried to smile, but looked like she was in pain instead. You guys have been talking a lot lately. Yeah, she's great to talk to. Really gets me, you know? That was when Rebecca started doing this thing where she'd check my phone when I left it lying around. She thought she was being sneaky about it, but I'd catch her scrolling through my messages when she thought I was in the bathroom or kitchen. The funny thing? I deleted any real evidence of what happened with Angela. I just left enough normal friendly texts to make her suspicious and drive her crazy. Then she started showing up at places where she knew I'd be. I'd mention grabbing coffee near work, and suddenly she just happened to be there. Or I'd say I was meeting friends at a bar, and an hour later, she'd show up, claiming she was in the neighborhood. The best part? She started canceling her own dates. Suddenly, she was home more often, wanting to watch movies or cook dinner together. It was like watching someone try to mark their territory without admitting that's what they were doing. After countless attempts to get closer, each one met with me shutting it down. She finally snapped. Are you seeing someone else? I raised an eyebrow. Isn't that kind of the point of an open relationship? Yeah, but who is it? Is it Angela? Are you sleeping with Angela? I just smiled. I thought we weren't supposed to share details about our other partners. Isn't that what you said when I asked about your dates? Rebecca lost it. She started going through my Instagram followers, checking who liked my posts, analyzing every interaction I had online. She even started following Angela's social media obsessively, reading into every post or story Angela shared. The final blow came when Angela posted a selfie in a coffee shop, the same coffee shop where I get my morning coffee. Rebecca called me immediately. Are you with Angela right now? Her voice was sharp, laced with accusation. I glanced at the unfinished blueprint in front of me. Rebecca, I'm at work, but you always get coffee at that place in the morning. Did you meet her there? I let her panic for a moment before answering. That coffee shop has, like, 1,000 customers every day. People can go to the same place without it meaning anything, but she wasn't buying it. Rebecca started asking me where I was going, who I was seeing, what I was doing. The same woman who had been coming home late from dates for weeks, who never gave me straight answers about where she was or who she was with, was suddenly demanding to know my every move. Angela thought it was hilarious when I told her about Rebecca's behavior. She really can't handle not being in control, can she? Angela said one night while we were curled up on her couch. Nope, I agreed. And the best part? She can't even complain about it without admitting she never actually wanted an open relationship. She just wanted permission to cheat. Then Rebecca changed tactics. She came home one night and dropped a bomb. I think we should close the relationship again. I stared at her, sitting on our couch, looking all serious and concerned. The same person who'd been going on dates left, and right for weeks was now acting like she was doing me some huge favor. I just think we've explored enough, she said, reaching for my hand. I pulled away. We could go back to how things were before. Just you and me. I couldn't help but laugh. Just you and me? Like the past few weeks never happened? Well, yeah, she said, looking confused by my reaction. Isn't that what you wanted? You haven't seemed happy with the open relationship. That was it. That was the moment I decided to stop playing games. You're right. I haven't been happy. Watching my girlfriend go on dates with a new guy every other night while barely acknowledging my existence. Yeah, not exactly a dream scenario. Her face did this weird thing where she tried to look sympathetic, but couldn't quite pull it off. I know it was hard for you, but that's why I'm saying we should close things up again. We can work on us. Work on us. I repeated, the words bitter in my mouth. Like how you've been working on getting to know half the guys in this city? That's not fair. She snapped, instantly defensive. You agreed to the open relationship. You could have been dating, too. I leaned back, watching her. Oh, I have been. Rebecca went pale. What? I've been seeing someone. She jumped up from the couch. Of course it matters. Who the hell is it? How long? Her eyes darted wildly, and then it hit her. Angela. It's Angela, isn't it? I just sat there, letting her spiral. She started pacing, running her hands through her hair. It is Angela, isn't it? That's why you've been talking about her so much. That's why she's been avoiding my calls. My best friend. Really funny how you're allowed to sleep with whoever you want. But the moment I do the same, it's a problem. But it's Angela, she screamed. She's my best friend. You can't sleep with my best friend. I stood up, leveling my gaze at her. Actually, I can. And I did. Rebecca froze, staring at me in shock. What did you just say? I slept with Angela. Multiple times, actually. And you know what? It was great. She actually cares about my feelings, which is more than I can say for you lately. Her face went from shock to rage in about 2 seconds. You're lying. Angela would never do that to me. Really? Because she did. Want to know what else? She's had feelings for me for years. Even when she was dating Mark, she was thinking about me. You're making this up to hurt me, Rebecca said, but I could see the doubt in her eyes. I'm not. Remember last Thursday when you were out with that startup guy? Angela came over. We talked for hours. Then we slept together. She sees me as a person, not just some backup plan waiting at home while you live your best life. Rebecca grabbed her phone. I don't believe you. Angela would never. Check your text with her, I said. Notice how she's been kind of distant lately? Not really responding to your messages? That's why. She scrolled through her phone frantically, probably seeing all the unanswered messages and short replies from Angela in a new light. This can't be happening, she muttered. This isn't how this was supposed to go. I scoffed. Oh, really? How was it supposed to go? You get to have fun with other guys while I sit at home being the loyal boyfriend? Did you really think I wouldn't eventually meet someone else? But not Angela, she yelled. Anyone but Angela. You knew this would hurt me. I lost it at that point. Hurt you? What about how much you've been hurting me? Watching you get dressed up for other guys, coming home late smelling like someone else's cologne, barely even looking at me anymore. Did you ever think about how that felt? She clenched her jaw, breathing hard. And then, after a long moment, she muttered, that was different. Rebecca tried to argue, her voice shaky. Those guys didn't mean anything. I scoffed. So that makes it better? The fact that you were just having meaningless hookups while I actually developed real feelings for someone? She stopped, her eyes searching my face. Real feelings? Yeah, real feelings. I folded my arms, letting my words sink in. Angela and I. It's not just physical. We talk. We laugh. We actually care about each other. When was the last time you and I had a real conversation that wasn't about your dates or your new experiences? Rebecca sat back down on the couch, looking defeated. So what are you saying? You want to be with Angela now? I sighed, running a hand through my hair. I'm saying this whole open relationship thing showed me what I really want. And it's not someone who treats me like an afterthought. She started crying then. Big, dramatic sobs that probably would have worked on me a month ago. But now? Now all I could think about was how she hadn't shed a single tear over how much she had hurt me. We can fix this, she said between sobs. We can go back to how things were. I shook my head. No, we can't. Because now I know what it feels like to be with someone who actually values me. And I'm not settling for less than that anymore. That's when Rebecca did something I never expected. She grabbed her keys and stormed out. I'm going to Angela's place. I need to sort this out once and for all. The moment the door slammed behind her, I grabbed my phone. I had to warn Angela. When she picked up, I didn't waste any time. Rebecca's on her way to you. She's pissed. Angela let out a slow breath. Let her come. Are you sure? I can head over. Be there for backup? No, she said firmly. I need to handle this myself. She's been my best friend for 10 years. I owe her that much. I spent the next hour pacing around the apartment, checking my phone every 2 minutes. The place felt strange, like the air right before a storm. Heavy, charged. Finally, Angela called back. Her voice was shaky. She showed up screaming. Like, my neighbors probably heard everything. She kept yelling about how I betrayed her, how I was a terrible friend, how I had been plotting this all along. What did you say? I asked, gripping the phone tighter. I told her the truth, that I've had feelings for you for years but never acted on them because she was my friend. That watching her treat you like garbage these past few weeks made me realize she never deserved either of us. That what happened between us wasn't planned, but I don't regret it. Apparently, Rebecca didn't take that well. She tried to push past Angela into her apartment, saying she needed to see for herself if I was there. When Angela blocked the door, Rebecca accused her of hiding me. She's completely lost it, Angela said. She started listing all these random times we hung out, trying to prove we've been sneaking around for months. Even brought up that time last year when you helped me move my couch. I chuckled bitterly. You mean when she was too busy with work to help? Yep. According to her, every interaction we've ever had was some secret sign of an affair. The time I brought you soup when you had the flu? Obviously a cover for hooking up. Group movie nights at your place? Just an excuse to make eyes at each other. I sighed. She's rewriting history to make herself the victim. Then she started crying. Angela continued. Like, sliding down my doorframe crying. saying she never meant for any of this to happen. My neighbor even came out to check if everything was okay. It was mortifying. What happened next? Mrs. Chan threatened to call the police because of the noise. That finally got Rebecca to leave, but not before she told me I'd ruined everything and that she'd never forgive me. 20 minutes after I hung up with Angela, Rebecca came back. She looked terrible. Eyes red, mascara smudged, like she had been crying the whole way over. She walked in, saw me on my phone, texting Angela updates, and just lost it. Are you texting her right now? Planning your next meetup? How long have you two been laughing at me behind my back? I kept my voice calm. Nobody's laughing at you, Rebecca. You did this to yourself. I didn't do anything, she screamed, throwing her purse across the room. I suggested an open relationship to make us stronger. I didn't tell you to go sleep with my best friend. I let out a dry laugh. No, you just wanted permission to sleep with whoever you wanted while keeping me as your backup plan. She started grabbing things, pictures of us, gifts I had given her, throwing them into a box. I'm going to stay at Jessica's. My real friend. Someone who wouldn't stab me in the back. Fine by me, I said. Take whatever you want. That made her pause. That's it? You're not even going to try to stop me? Why would I? You've made it pretty clear what matters to you, and it's not me or this relationship. She stopped packing and sat on the couch, suddenly looking very small. I thought you'd always be there. That no matter who else I dated, you'd be waiting when I was ready to settle down. And there it was. The truth. Finally coming out. I wasn't her partner. I was her safety net. Her backup plan. Her guaranteed happy ending while she went out and explored. Well, you thought wrong, I told her. I'm not some puppy waiting faithfully by the door while you're out having fun. I'm a person with feelings, and I deserve better than being your second choice. But you weren't my second choice. Rebecca insisted, her voice cracking. I love you. No, Rebecca, I said, shaking my head. You love having me around when it's convenient. There's a difference. She started crying again, but this time, I felt nothing. No urge to comfort her. No guilt. Just emptiness. I'll come get the rest of my stuff tomorrow, she finally said, picking up her box. I can't be here right now. After she left, I grabbed my phone and called Angela. Just hearing her voice made me feel calmer. We talked for hours that night, about Rebecca, about us, about what happens next. Some of our mutual friends are already taking sides, Angela mentioned. Most of them are calling me a backstabber without even knowing the whole story. Do you care? I asked. She let out a small laugh. Not really. They can think what they want. I know what's real. I looked around my half-empty apartment, at the spaces where Rebecca's things used to be, and realized I felt relieved. Like I could finally breathe again. Come over, I said. Settle with me. Angela hesitated for a second, then agreed. I'm on my way. The next morning, Rebecca came to get her stuff. She brought Jessica and 2 other friends I didn't know well. They shot me nasty looks while helping her pack, like I was the bad guy in all this. Rebecca had obviously told them her version of events. Your Xbox is mine, she said, unplugging it. I bought it for your birthday. Fine, take it. I was beyond caring about stuff like that. Halfway through the packing session, Angela showed up. She hadn't planned to, but I texted her saying I needed coffee, and she read between the lines. Rebecca's friends started whispering when Angela walked in, but she ignored them and handed me my drink. Really? You're just going to flaunt this in my face? Rebecca snapped. Nobody's flaunting anything, Angela said calmly. I'm just here to support my boyfriend. First time either of us had used that word. Rebecca looked like she'd been slapped. The packing went faster after that. Her friends rushed around, probably trying to get her out before she had another meltdown. When they finished, Rebecca stood in the doorway for a moment. I really loved you, she said softly. I met her gaze, steady and firm. No, I replied. You loved having me available whenever you wanted me. There's a difference. She didn't say anything else, just turned and walked out. After they left, Angela helped me clean up. She picked up a stray hoodie Rebecca had left behind and tossed it into a donation box. You okay? She asked, watching me carefully. I exhaled and nodded. Yeah, for the first time in months, I really am. That was 2 weeks ago. Since then, life's been different. Better. Angela and I are taking things slow, doing it right. We got coffee at her favorite spot last weekend and ran into some of Rebecca's friends. They ignored us completely. Angela just squeezed my hand and smiled. Rebecca's still telling people her side of the story, how I cheated, how Angela betrayed her, how we secretly wanted each other the whole time. Some people believe her. The ones who matter don't. Yesterday, Angela brought over a bunch of her kindergarten students' artwork to decorate my fridge. Too empty, she said, arranging the crayon drawings carefully. Looking at them, I realized something. This is what I want. Someone who notices the little things, who cares about making my space feel warmer, who shows up with coffee just because I didn't reply to her text. Instead, I helped Angela grade papers for her class while we watched that new mystery show she loves. Simple, normal, real. Looking back, I'm almost grateful Rebecca suggested that open relationship. Not because it was a good idea, it wasn't, but because it showed me what I really wanted in a partner. Someone who chooses me first, not just when it's convenient. That's the thing about life. Sometimes the worst decisions lead to the best places, or in my case, to the right person who was there all along. Dear listeners, please share your thoughts in the comments section below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.